Here at Tropicana Field this afternoon on the heels of last night's sellout. This is the fourth game of this series. New York took game 3 last night from the Rays by a count of 6-4. Rays had won here Friday night 6-4, dropping the first game 7-3 on Thursday. The Southeast Toyota starting lineup for New York. Johnny Damon again in the leadoff spot. He'll be the designated hitter with Derek Jeter hitting second. Bobby Abreu in the third spot, swinging a very hot bat. Alex Rodriguez, the cleanup hitter. Hideki Matsui in left. In center field, the number 6 hitter is Melky Cabrera. Robinson Cano at second. At first base, Andy Phillips. And behind the plate, Will Nieves. He'll do the catching at bat 9.
Edwin Jackson will be on the hill making his 17th start, coming off 11 days between starts. Has that high-powered arm, frequently in the mid-90s. And very important for him, because he can be erratic, is to get strike 1 against a very patient lineup. Let's take a look at the Rays defense, brought to you by Rico. B.J. Upton, boy, has he looked good in center field. Second straight start. And has looked very natural out there in center.
There are the numbers on Edwin Jackson. He possesses a great arm, command, consistency. The challenge for Edwin as he makes his 18th appearance, 17th start, and his first start against the New York Yankees. He has appeared out of the bullpen against this New York ball club. 4 relief appearances, totaling 5 1/3 innings, which time he's given up 3 runs, striking out 3 and walking 1. Joe Madden, the Rays skipper. 4-3 against New York this year. Joe Torre's club continues to run second in the East. They're at 500, 44-44, 10 games back of Boston. And here's Johnny Damon. First pitch outside, the game is underway. Damon hitting .247. He was on 3 times last night, drawing 2 bases on balls. He had a base hit. 1-1 to count. He also picked up a stolen base in the 9th inning, and that turned into a run, making it a 2-run ball game as the Rays fell short, hit it into the bottom of the 9th, down by 2, and they dropped that game 6-4. 1-2 the count. Tap to second. Wigginton up with it. His throw to first. Retires Johnny Damon.
Boy, that was a real good pitching sequence there by Edwin Jackson. Buzz saw Johnny Damon with that fastball.
And it brings up Derek Jeter. Jeter hitting .331. First pitch low. Edwin's last start was in Boston. That was on the 4th of July. He did make a brief bullpen appearance in Kansas City 4 days later on the 8th. Pitching just a third of an inning and walking 1 man.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how he pitches 11 days in between his last start. That delivery needs a lot of repetition in an effort to repeat it.
He's behind. 3-0 here to Jeter. There's the strike, says C.B. Buckner. Jeter came into this series hitting third and had hit very well out of that spot. Drawing the walk here, and he becomes the first base runner with 1 out in the first. Jeter goes to first. But now Jeter up in the 2 spot to make room for Bobby Abreu to hit third. Abreu is 17 out of his last 33. He's actually hit in 6 different spots in the New York lineup this year. And on the 26th of June, Joe Torre had him hitting 8th.
He's had Alex Rodriguez hit 8th before.
Overall, he's hitting .273 right now. Jeter throws a soft little toss over there. The Yankees come in to play this afternoon, hitting .280 as a team. It's 4th in the league. And a ball up and away to Abreu. 1-0. And this is pretty much the story on Edwin Jackson and microcosm here, Joe. 4 great pitches to Johnny Damon, and then he walked Jeter and had trouble with that first delivery to Abreu.
Yeah, it has to be frustrating sometimes. You think he's ready to take off, and he'll have a couple good hitters, a couple good innings, and then really has not been able to get through any start without huge marks of inconsistency.
The count to Abreu. It's upstairs, and that's one thing about trying to characterize Jackson's performance, and Joe Madden, I think, has maybe frustrated some of the writers last time out. Jackson gave up 7 runs, 9 hits in 5 innings, but for the most part stayed in that delivery about as well as he has all year. Wave and a miss, and so the results weren't what you would hope for. Madden and the Rays did see a little progress there. That's the kind of progress they're hoping for out of this guy because he has such a great arm.
Well, again, at the big league level, there comes a point where you have to take the bet and not rely on the label of potential and start realizing some of it.
2-2. High fly ball back into left center field. Crawford on the run. Got it! Carl made a long run to the warning track in left center field to haul that one in. Jeter retreats to first, and boy, you talk about covering ground. Carl did that time.
Well, we talked about it last night. Any one of these 3 outfielders can cover plus ground to their left and to their right. Carl, probably the fastest guy in the game, all the way over towards center field.
You know, in the open, we talked about Pena's performance being under the radar screen, and what a shame that Crawford's performance here has been. That's why it was so great to see him hit that home run in the All-Star game. Strike call to Alex Rodriguez. But Carl made a catch right there that no other left fielder is going to make, and we can say that more often, I think, than anybody else about a guy who plays left field.
I think Manny Ramirez would have had it if he was positioned over there.
This bouncing ball, if the door to the Green Monster had been that far into left center, Manny, as he came out of the Green Monster, might have caught it.
Yep, he would have emerged right from about there. Carl just ran a nice little pass pattern.
Over to first again. Jeter back in. Two outs. Jeter at first. 2 strikes the count to A-Rod. Upstairs. 1-2. You know that ball that Abreu hit, you talk about strong arm. That was a fastball with something on it.
96.
Mid-90s. He hit that ball a long way into left center field before Crawford caught it.
Well, if he can bust the fastball in on his hands, that's a good pitch.
2-2.
To Alex Rodriguez. He's just enjoying the wave of a hot streak right now, Bobby Abreu. That's when hitters don't try to think about it at all, just enjoy it. See the ball well.
There goes Jeter. The pitch is down. The throw is high. Jeter's in with a steal. Count is full on A-Rod. Jeter picks up his 8th stolen base.
Thought they were going to have a chance to get Jeter when he went into his slide. Kind of went down with the nose gear down. Watch him kind of dive and stick a little bit as that hand that goes into the base gets kind of pulled back with the infield being a little damp.
To the count to A-Rod with Jeter now in scoring position. And strike 3 call. A little bit of a delay by Buckner. And A-Rod has a word with him as he's called out on strikes. Go to the bottom half of the first here. Yankees nothing, Rays coming in to hit. No score. Rays coming into bat in the bottom half of the first. The Southeast Toyota starting lineup for the Rays features Akinori Iwamura leading off in third. Carl Crawford second and Brendan Harris in shortstop. Pena, Young, and Upton down the middle. Upton in center field. Norton, the DH, with Wigginton at second. And Navarro doing the catching.
Mike Mussina on the hill as we look at the scouting reports. He'll do whatever it takes to get the hitter out. Has a full complement of pitches. Dropped 3 out of his last 4, although they have been quality starts, and finishes in a very neutral position. Fields his position very well.
Here's Hockey. The pitch is up a little bit. A ball and no strikes. Mussina 4-6, making his 15th start. Has a 4.62 ERA. And a line drive right back to him. Well, I guess he does field his position well. He was in perfect position.
He was perfectly squared off. Perfect reactions.
So Hockey hit that liner headed to the middle. And Mussina caught it. There's Carl Crawford. Carl pops it up. Jeter starts out to center. Cabrera in a hurry, and he can't get there. Base hit for Crawford.
Let's take a look at the Yankee defense. Brought to you by Rico. Milky Cabrera out of last night's game with flu-like symptoms. Appeared to have some difficulty tracking that ball in the roof as Carl gets his first hit.
So Crawford is aboard. Here's Brendan Harris. It's the 100th hit of the year for Carl Crawford. Harris, there goes Carl. Pitch is a ball and the throw's not in time. Crawford picks up his 25th stolen base of the year.
Since Carl has moved into that number 2 spot, he's been more proactive about going, not wasting any time in there easily.
So now the Rays have a scoring opportunity in the first. Brendan Harris with 39 runs batted in.
Mussina has the knuckle curve. He has the slider. At times he's thrown the split, the changeup. Good command of the fastball. Already talked about it. His follow through and how that leaves him in a very good position to field.
Two balls and a strike.
He's never had difficulty throwing the ball over the plate. Does not have a lot of rotary motion in his delivery. It's like he clears that front side out of the way to where he can come straight over the top and is very accurate with all of his pitches.
The 2-1. Harris, very patient, takes it down. 3 balls and a strike. Good work to count in his favor. Right down the middle of the lineup for the Rays, Harris, Pena, Young, and Upton, with men in scoring position, all are well over 300. Harris 329, Pena 313, Young at 372, and Upton at 378. Crawford with a single has stolen his way into scoring position. And Harris draws the walk. So Brendan goes to first. That'll get Pena up there.
You get a nice run of hitters with good approaches. That speaks to not only their competitive instinct, but having that good idea at the plate, knowing that you're not going to swing at a bad pitch 3-1. Let a guy who has been swinging the bat well behind you drive him in.
Carlos with an 11-game hitting streak. 292, 55 runs batted in now, 3 coming in last night's game, 2 on a double, and then the solo home run his last time up. Pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes.
Almost looks like in the early going, Mussina wants to see how aggressive the Rays hitters are going to be, trying to tantalize them with pitches just on the outer reaches of the strike zone.
Well, he has been very successful in the past against the Rays. He's 16-6 lifetime against them, and that's how he's gotten it done. There's the strike. It's 1-1, and the Rays through the years have been a very aggressive team, not disciplined, and so he's come out here with that same approach.
Well, the pattern, if you're hitting against Mike Mussina, is that there really isn't one. You don't want to try to really think along with him. Just wait till he elevates a few pitches, hangs a breaking ball. He doesn't throw the knuckle curve as much as he used to.
2-1 now.
It's the same kind of curveball that James Shields throws, where he digs his index finger into the ball and throws it with that middle finger right off the seam.
Mussina taking a little time, and Pena steps back. Harris at first, Crawford at second. Cut and a miss. 2-2.
And there is some genius in this situation by taking a little time. That hitter really wants to drive in these runs, and he's real aggressive. Take a little extra time, and in Mussina's mind, hopefully making Carlos Pena a little more anxious.
Makes that off speed, the change of speeds effective. Two and two. Ground ball headed toward the middle, base hit into center field. Here comes Crawford around. He's going to score. Throw back to second, and Harris is cut down. Cabrera went back to second. Crawford scores, and as Harris made the turn, he tried to get back. could not. He's out number 2 as Pena drives in the run to make it 1-0.
Well, I think if you're Brendan Harrison, he's a smart player knowing that he made a base running mistake there. Carlos expanding the strike zone. There's no way that Cabrera is going to throw Crawford out at the plate, so no reason for Brendan to take that wide aggressive turn.
So an RBI single for Pena. His hitting streak now 12. Here's Delman Young. Pitch is outside, a ball and no strikes. Well, those are the kind of little mistakes that have plagued the Rays off and on throughout the year. They made a couple of defensive misplays last night that didn't show up as errors, and it led to a Yankee run. Now the Rays lose a base runner on this little mistake by Brendan Harris.
I think sometimes you see that when a guy has been out there playing every day and occasionally goes through, little mental glitches when he gets a little tired.
2-0 the count to Delman Young. We haven't had an opportunity to say that very often this year. He's all over that first pitch usually. Fouls this one out of play, and the count is 2 balls and a strike. And through it all, Delman has driven in 50 runs. He's hitting .289. Been good with men in scoring position.
Well, he's not looking for any one pitch against Mussina. He's just looking for the ball.
The right side foul. It's out of play.
So he's had 2 hacks at the slider and then the curveball there. There's that knuckle up in the glove there on that knuckle curve.
Crawford has scored. Pena's at first. 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the first. Outside fastball. So the count is full. You've seen his fastball now in that 88, 89, 90 range.
He picks his spots to really turn it loose. He doesn't have too many of those 90s in his arsenal at this stage in his career.
3-2 and a little tap. That's a foul ball. So Pena with 2 outs and a full count, breaking on the pitch. He'll return to first and do it again.
But like any good aging starting pitcher, they know when to pick those spots to put the hammer down and put a little extra on that fastball when they need it. And also realizing that they can't continue and freewheel with it like they used to early in their careers.
And it's fouled again up the right side. That's going to wind up out of reach. Yankees had a base runner in the first. They left Jeter at second. The Rays have scored in the first. Pena aboard at first base, and another 3-2 pitch from Mike Mussina, about to be made to Delman Young, and he walks him. 2 walks in the inning, and you don't see that very often. In fact, last year and throughout his career, Mussina has been very stingy with the walks. Last year he gave up just a little over 1.5 walks every 9 innings, and he's going to get an early visit from Ron Guidry.
Well, there's been a couple pitches that Mussina has thought have been strikes. And Ron Guidry knows that he doesn't really have to remind Mussina that much to keep his poise. Not his first rodeo.
Well, 2 men aboard. B.J. Upton will hit. B.J. batting .320. BJ has been very good with men in scoring position, and the guy behind him in the lineup today, Greg Norton, in at DH because of his success through the years against Mussina. And a little looper into right field, soft liner, base hit. Abreu with the pickup. Pena will score. Into third goes Young. Upton jumping on the first pitch gives the Rays a 2-0 lead.
Boy, that was some beautiful patience waiting back on that breaking ball. Something that B.J. Upton really does a good job of, recognizing spin. It's another knuckle curve, wait, and then just take it right into right field. Couldn't have drawn that any better. See how that front leg kind of buckled a little bit as he recognized that pitch.
Boy, that's a great job of hitting by Upton. That might have been the best knuckle curve we've seen in this inning. He threw one a couple pitches ago that was pretty flat. That was a good pitch right there, and Upton drives in a run with a base hit.
Well, it was coming around before he had hurt his leg, and you're really starting to see some real hitting acumen out of B.J. Upton.
And here's Greg Norton, 5 out of 16 lifetime against Mussina. The Rays have scored twice in the inning already. And Norton takes that one for a ball.
You know, so many hitters when they commit, when they get that front foot down, they just can't seem to keep their hands back for very long. But B.J. was able to do that, kept him back so long that he was able to take it into right field. Great patience, great ability.
Norton looks at a strike. 1-1. Crawford and Pena have scored the runs. Norton fouls one out of play the other way. Puts him down, a ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and you also wish that Brendan Harris didn't overrun the bag there at second base. A smart player like Brendan has probably been brooding about that the whole inning.
Well, it goes to show that as smart as he is and as schooled as he is, he's only human. But you can tell right there he's not very happy with himself.
Right.
The 1-2. Norton fouls it. Back into the screen. A fastball that time. Cena making the start. His last outing was 11 days ago against Minnesota. Pitched 6 innings in a 6-2 loss. He gave up 4 runs, 3 earned in 6 innings. Check swing, and Norton fouls that one into the screen. His last outing against the Twins. 93 pitches. For the third time, the 1-2 pitch hit on the ground is second. Cano with a backhanded stop on the plate at first. To Phillips, retires the side. Rays score 2, pick up 3 hits and leave 2. At the end of 1, 2-0 Tampa Bay. Back at Tropicana Field on Military Appreciation Day. 7,500 red, white, and blue t-shirts given to youngsters 14 and under. We go to the second, and Hideki Matsui leads off against Edwin Jackson. And the pitch is in there for a strike. Edwin Jackson, he was an Army brat, a military kid. Making his 17th start. Upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Born in Germany.
Cabrera next, and then Cano. Two and one. Well, it's in Edwin's case, inning to inning and pitch by pitch sometimes. Fly ball the other way, back to left, to the track. Carl Crawford's there and makes the grab. Well, if you got a territory and you want it covered, how about the firm of Crawford, Young, and Upton to cover your territory? Crawford at it again today. Ran that one down in the first.
Left, right, front, or back at every position.
They can go get it. Melky Cabrera takes the pitch down, a ball and no strikes. One. Two balls and a strike.
Well, you'd like to see Edwin work ahead in the count. He could make it so much easier on himself.
Right back through the middle. Past Jackson and into center field. Melky Cabrera has the first New York hit. Robinson Cano. This one is down. 1-0. Yeah, Jackson, in the true sense that Army Brad, his father, Edwin Sr., served over 20 years in the Army as a staff sergeant, and that meant Edwin spent his childhood moving from base to base. High fly ball back into left. That's Crawford. Carl's got this one, two gone. Cabrera's back to first. You mentioned, Joe, he was born in Germany and went to Ohio and Louisiana, returned to Germany, and then settled in at Fort Benning in Columbus, Georgia, and he was drafted by the Dodgers out of Shaw High School in Columbus, Georgia.
After all of that base-to-base commuting, he was probably glad he was drafted by a baseball team.
He was a center fielder in high school and a converted pitcher. Pitch to Andy Phillips is too low, a ball and no strikes.
Well, I think it was apropos that we showed that defensive package showing the talents of the Rays outfield. I think they're going to be busy this afternoon. Edwin, he's more of a ride the fastball guy, more of a fly ball pitcher than a sinker ball pitcher.
Down to first, and a great pickup by Pena. Patented Carlos Pena defensive work there. Phillips out, 3 unassisted. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the second. Rays 2, New York nothing. Rays lead this one 2-0. Coming in ahead in the bottom of the second. Time for the Just for Man hair color stay in the game play. How about this catch last night by B.J. Upton in the 4th inning? Andy Phillips victimized by great defensive work on the part of B.J. Upton. Stay in the game with Just for Man hair color. So Upton took care of Phillips last night. Carlos Pena made a great play. There's a base hit by Ty Wigginton to start the home half of inning 2. Pena made that great play on Andy Phillips to end the top half of this inning. Phillips gaining an appreciation for Rays defense. Wigginton at first for that base hit.
Carlos, you've seen him take away so many doubles. Very good going to the backhand side. A lot of first basemen can go to the glove side, but it's much more difficult to the backhand side. Carlos Pena so good at first.
Navarro taking a pitch down. The honor hitting 173. Wigginton aboard at first. And a bunt. A-Rod with a pickup and throw, safe at first. That took a little while in developing, and Navarro has himself a bunt single. Wigginton advancing to second.
Well, Navarro's at the point where he's doing anything he can just to try to get a hit. A-Rod playing a bit back.
Navarro digging hard down that line. Two men on, nobody out. Now we go to the top of the order. Hockey hit that solid line drive right back at Mussina in the first. A-Rod in on the corner, and Ibamora squares but takes the pitch low. Hockey at 281. Rays have taken the early lead. They have another threat here. Mora takes it outside.
It'll cause A-Rod to move back a few steps, but even if that bunt wasn't successful on the first pitch, it gets the defense moving around thinking that the bunt is in play. Brings them up a little bit and shortens down their reaction time.
Now the 2-0. Wave and a miss. Mora getting his first look at Mike Mussina. Crawford on deck. And a popper left side foul ball. Rodriguez after it and overran it, but comes back to make the play. He found himself too far under that one and recovered. One away.
Well, he's aware of it. You know, Derek Jeter is very good at catching pop-ups. Alex has his difficulty from time to time catching them, and that was a difficult time right there.
Here's Carl Crawford.
Anytime you see pop-ups on the left side of the field with the Yankees, Derek Jeter will be the first one to step in and catch. You know, every infield is made up like that. Some guys are more adept at catching pop-ups, and they'll be the ones that take charge on those pop-ups in the infield.
Crawford got the pop single into center in the first inning, and that set the Rays in motion for a couple runs. Ground ball right side. That's going to go through. Wigginton rounding third. He's on his way to the plate. Throw's not going to be in time. Into third goes Navarro, and the Rays make it 3-0. Carl Crawford comes through with an RBI single, driving in his 52nd run.
Well, you have to really like the at-bats so far of the Rays. Mussina's been trying, you know, every pitch. Changing speeds, changing locations. Rays have been patient within the strike zone.
That hit for Crawford is the 6th hit already off Mussina. Now Brendan Harris had walked his first time and made that little base running mistake, was caught rounding the bag at second. Pitch to him is a strike. Brendan had a base hit last night his first time up and scored, and then in the third was hit by a pitch. But the plate umpire Ed Hickox ruled that it also hit the bat. The question was, and the question Joe Madden had for Hickox, and Joe said he couldn't really tell if the ball had hit the bat or it had actually had hit Harris, although his hand indicated that it did. There's a hop right side. Cano out. Abreu's in for this one. It's going to be Cano inside the line making the catch for the out. But Madden's question was for Hickok, how did he know that it hit the bat first and then his hand, or did it really hit his hand? And that's what Madden wanted to know.
Well, and there was an at-bat later in the game by Ty Wigginton. Here's the Brendan Harris at-bat. And Ed Hickox was saying it hit the bat too. But there was an at-bat later where it hit Ty Wigginton on the top of the hand, and Ed Hickox was pointing to his forearm. And you really just have to, so much of it is going by sound, because obviously it's happening within the blink of an eye, or less than that.
There's Carlos Pena, men at first and third. There goes Crawford. The pitch is a ball, and the throw is not in time. So Crawford steals second base again.
Well, talking about that Wigginton at bat after Brendan Harris last night. Watch Ed Hickox gets Wigginton on the top of the hand, and he said, "Up, got you right on the forearm." Close enough. At least the call was right.
Here's Pena now with the count of 1-0. Crawford at second. Navarro at third. A little bit outside. 2-0. Crawford and Pena scored in the first. Wigginton has scored here in the second. A 2-0 count. And a fly ball back right straight down the middle to center. Cabrera makes the catch to retire the side. Rays settle for a run at the end of 2, 3-0 Tampa Bay. Rays with 2 in the first and 1 in the second carry a 3-0 lead into the top of the third. Edwin Jackson on the mound for the Rays this afternoon. Strikeout, a walk, 1 hit through 2. He'll face the number 9 hitter, Will Nieves, the New York catcher. Johnny Damon and Derek Jeter will follow. Pitch is a strike.
Edwin continues to throw the ball over the plate, he's going to continue to get good defense. Has just a very athletic defensive lineup behind him. At times he's been prone to a lot of deep counts and a lot of base runners, but if he keeps working the way he is, he's going to continue to get good defense.
Foul out of play. Holds the count at 2 strikes. Well, he made quick progress because of that arm after he was drafted by the Dodgers as an outfielder in 2001. And by 2003, he was pitching in the big leagues. The Abe is out on strikes. Second strikeout for Jackson. One away in the third, and let's go to Todd Callis. Todd?
Dwayne, thank you very much. It's another big crowd today. In fact, all 4 games, I think, have exceeded even the most optimistic of Rays officials' expectations. You can see behind me, the upper bowl is almost completely filled. It's not quite a sellout, but it's close today, and I think every game has exceeded anybody's expectations. A few things are in place here. I think it says a lot for both the Yankees and Rays fans. Their teams have had disappointing years to this point in 2007. They're still showing up. And I think the Tropicana Field experience, talking to some fans throughout the series, is better now than it's ever been at any point. So people are really enjoying themselves. It could be record-setting numbers that we haven't seen in attendance in a while, guys.
All right, that's great news. It's been a fun time here this weekend at the ballpark. Damon is lined out to Pena for the second out.
And I think it's also real easy to see how lively and loud this place can be when you're at the capacity and near capacity.
Here's Derek Jeter. It's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. On that point with Edwin, you know, he was drafted as an outfielder in 2001 and a converted pitcher then, and by 2003 he's pitching in the big leagues. You know, when he pitched on his high school team, he played the infield and the outfield and pitched. He was the 2nd or 3rd pitcher on his high school team. There's a strike. They know he had a great arm, but think about that, as a converted player drafted as an outfielder, and in 2 years' time, you're pitching. Not only just pitching, you're pitching in the big leagues.
Well, because of that arm strength and lighting up the gun, he was, quite frankly, rushed.
Wave and a miss. He strikes out Jeter. Got him on a slider. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and we go to the bottom of the third. 3-0 Tampa Bay. Visit FSNFlorida.com or call a number that was or will be on your screen, on a screen near you soon. Delman Young up there. 1-0 the count. He fouls it out of play. 1-1. Young, Upton, and Norton due up. One ball, 2 strikes. There's a fly ball back into right. Abreu drifting back and makes the catch on that one. So that is out number 1 in the home half of the third. Time for our Geico quote of the day. Joe Madden can be very cerebral. A mind once stretched has a difficult time going back to its original form. And for the analysis on that, I bring you my esteemed colleague and partner, Joe McGrain.
Well, it's based on science, and it goes from my experience when Gene Wilder gave part of his brain to Peter Boyle in Young Frankenstein. In that experiment, it was very difficult for young Frankenstein to really go back once he had made that commitment.
And the shape of Peter Boyle's head lends itself to substantiating that analysis.
And stretching of the brain.
1 strike to count to B.J. Upton. That our Geico quote of the day. 2 strikes. It's more than just a game.
It's more than just a brain.
Yes. We're doing the best we can with what we got, folks. So. Well, that pitch just missed.
That might be Cena giving CB Buckner, the stare down, and of course Buckner is hearing it from the Yankee dugout.
Line drive with a base hit into right for BJ. Upton is 2 for 2. So Upton, after taking that pitch that was very close, lines a single, and now they have Nieves, the catcher, and Buckner going at it out in front of the plate. Joe Torre is going to come out. Torre is going to try to deflect some of this from Nieves.
Well, keep in mind when you get into arguments about balls and strikes from the bench, it's supposed to be an automatic ejection. And you know, Joe Torre is just doing his best to try to ambassador through this situation, knowing that his pitcher's upset with the way the strike zone has been.
Yeah, that manager can't make any reference to ball and strike calls.
Well, especially with a guy like CB Buckner, who has been known at times to be quick on the trigger.
You can see Buckner thinking that Nieves are trying to show him up. If you can read the lips a little bit there. Nieves turned around, apparently said something there that Buckner didn't like much, and so
well, he
had a little get together.
Yeah, he was taking up for Mussina, and you know, Mussina has earned the right to, you know, question pitches.
Greg Norton takes that first pitch, and that's a strike.
Happens all the time.
Upton taking a little lead over there at first, away from Phillips. The Rays have swiped a couple bases. High foul. That's twisting down the left side and will be down beyond the bullpen. Taking a big hop over the Yankee bullpen. 2 strikes.
Tell you what, that little incident kind of overshadows is the 2 great approaches that BJ Upton has had in getting 2 hits to right field. One on a fastball that last time, that one there, and the previous time on a breaking ball. That's spreading the wealth around right there.
2 strikes to count. Greg Norton.
We had some lights go out.
I'm glad to know that's not just me.
Yeah.
Two strikes to count now.
Joe West, the crew chief, says play on.
Looks like a little cloud has gone in front of the sun. Ground ball right side. Cano with a pickup. He'll take that to first. Into second goes Upton. So Norton is out. Cano to Phillips for the second time in this game. The Rays will have a man in scoring position for the third straight inning. Ty Wigginton, who opened the second with a base hit and scored, trying to get Upton home from second with 2 outs in the third. Hitting .266 and a line drive base hit into left field. Upton around third. Matsui's throws coming to the plate. BJ is out at the plate. Nieves came up with that throw, put the tag on BJ. Upton is still not running at full speed. We saw that last night on the caught stealing. And he's thrown out at the plate here on the base hit by Wigginton. Rays have a 3-0 lead as we go to the fourth. Bobby Abreu is going to lead it off. Arsani, good replay. That shot hit by Abreu back in the first toward left center. Carl Crawford covered all kinds of ground in the outfield to track that one down. That was the second out of the inning, and a fine running catch out there by Carl Crawford.
Well, you know what happens when things like that, you start to see those good plays in the outfield. It really presents a healthy competition. B.J. Upton made that great play going into the triangle last night and got a lot of attention and applause, and Carl said, I can do that too.
Abreu has taken the first pitch for a strike. One and one to count. Ground ball. Aki's got it. His throw to first in time. Abreu out of there, third to first. Time for our Aflac trivia question here in the top half of the fourth inning. Who was the first pitcher to strike out the same number of batters as his age in a single game? We're getting very tricky now. For an example, if you're 20, you strike out 20. Alex Rodriguez. Pitch is down. 1-0.
Well, apparently Mike Griffin, who authored that question, was very late getting to the park today. That had to have been pulled out of a hat somewhere.
1-1 the count. Fastball. Inside. 2-1.
Well, Edwin hasn't quite nailed down his command, but when he has been throwing it over, he's been getting it to decent pitcher spots.
Ground ball shortstop. Harris up for this one, and he throws a strike to Carlos Pena. 2 up, 2 down.
So far this afternoon, he's really done a nice job in controlling the momentum, keeping the momentum on the Rays side to where these hitters can just grind away at Mike Mussina. You've already started to see some frustration out of Mussina with the strike zone, and I think it also has to do with the fact that the Rays have been running up some hits on it.
Here's Hideki Matsui. He hit the ball to the track and left his first time. Pitch inside. Matsui doubled and homered last night. And it's a strike.
Back-to-back changeups. That's good to see. Matsui has really been hitting the ball hard in this series.
Fouls this one. Fastball, and he fouled it the other way into the seats. 1-2.
Yeah, fouled into the section of the great unwashed that are Yankee fans.
We hope everybody's okay down there.
Yep.
Two balls, 2 strikes. There for a moment, I thought I was working with Whitney Johnson.
Where is Whitney?
we'd like to send out a big hello to him. One of the best. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The count now to Hideki Matsui. Three strikeouts and a walk. Jackson gave up a base hit to Cabrera in the second. 1 hit, 1 walk. Now the 3-2. Matsui bounces it foul. First career start against the Yankees here today for Edwin Jackson. 4 career relief appearances. All of those last year. 3-2. Foul again. That one reaching the upper deck. Crawford with the pickup. So Matsui comes up with a 2-out single the other way. Hit number 2 for New York. Melky Cabrera in the batter's box. He pops it up short left. Crawford coming in. Carl's right there and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Bottom half of the 4th coming. 3-0 Tampa Bay. Navarro leading it off, and the pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. That Pepsi was supersized.
It was indeed. They must start to make it in a 10-gallon drum.
1-1 the count to Deontay Navarro. Cena on the hill. And a base hit, stroked up the middle. So Navarro is 2 for 2 against Mike Mussina. A bunt single. And now the line single up the middle here to open the 4th. And it's time for the answer to our Aflac trivia question as posed by Mike Griffin. First pitcher to strike out the same number of batters as his age in a single game. That would be Bob Feller, who struck out 17 at the age of 17. And Bullet Bob Feller here at the ballpark today, signing autographs and throwing out the first pitch. The Hall of Famer.
And a great American.
Here's his form. Bill Evers doing the catching.
Caught the front corner.
One strike to count to Aki. Pitch is low, and it's a 1-1 count.
It's a great arm for someone 88 years of age. Of course, Bob Feller served in the military. You remember before they had, as you look at his Hall of Fame numbers.
How about that? He enlisted in the Navy
voluntarily.
Day after Pearl Harbor. Well, it was his duty, as that generation did. Hey, look at Navarro stealing a base. Deontay Navarro taking off. Boy, he's playing a little man's game. He bunted his way on. Now a stolen base. The bunt came in the second. Base hit in the 4th. I think he was encouraged by watching the Pepsi race.
Yes, I think that was very encouraging to him. Probably saw that changeup signaled by Nieves as well. He's 2 for 2.
Hockey takes a strike, and that squares the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Rays have really been doing a good job of stringing these at-bats together, really making Mussina work.
runs in every inning. They've collected 9 hits off Mussina already. And a ground ball to short. Imamura's out at first. Navarro holding at second. 1 away. Mussina gave up 9 hits to the Red Sox back on June the 2nd at Fenway in 5 innings. And the Red Sox got him for 10 hits in 6 2/3 at Yankee Stadium in a 7-3 loss on May the 22nd. The Rays have 9 hits so far, 3 runs. And here's Carl Crawford. Pitch is down, a ball to no strikes, and the Rays well aware that 3 runs can disappear, as happened last night when the Rays scored 3 in the first and the Yankees eventually won that game 6-4.
Yeah, the Yankees have some kind of a quick strike offense right now, being led by a red-hot Bobby Abreu.
Bouncing ball to first. Phillips will race Crawford to the bag, and they collide as Navarro rounds the bag, and Phillips comes up throwing to third. So Crawford and Phillips have a collision there at first base. Everybody seems to be okay.
Boy, that was scary for a minute there. Of course, Carl smelling that hit, the foot race to the bag. He's trying to peel off to the right to avoid the collision. And Phillips was running right into Carl Crawford. And they both got up and asked each other if they were all right. It's one of those things.
Runner at third with 2 outs. Here's Brendan Harris. Brendan fouls it back. Strike 1. He's walked and has popped out. Yeah, you're happy to see both of those guys get up and be all right from that kind of collision.
Well, Carl had really the fuller head of steam.
One strike to count. Harris sends a fly ball back into center field. Cabrera still back to the track, and he makes the catch. Boy, Harris put a charge into that one. Just kept carrying on Cabrera, who finally made the grab. Rays got a leadoff base hit, left him on. We're through 4, 3-0 Tampa Bay. Three to nothing. Rays lead. Top of the 5th inning coming. Be sure to check out the Checkers Bullpen Cafe, that unique party area. Field level right next to the Rays bullpen. Great Checkers food and the picnic style seating right on top of the action. For info, call 888-FAN-RAYS or log on to devilrays.com. Checkers Bullpen Cafe close to the Enforcer, and Bobby Ramos down there as well. Robinson Cano leading off the 5th for New York. Edwin Jackson's pitch is a fastball and a strike.
Yeah, do not look the Enforcer directly in the eye. He is an intimidating presence.
Foul out of play. 0-2. The Enforcer, a.k.a. Scott Kersey. Keep your eyes to the ground. An 0-2 count.
In fact, that's the first memo the players get in spring training is do not make eye contact with the Enforcer, Scott Kersey, at any point. And do not speak to him unless directly spoken to.
Bobby Ramos tending to the enforcer right now. It's a ball and 2 strikes. A lot going on down there in the bullpen.
This little piggy went to market.
What exactly would you say is going on down there, Joe?
It's mano a mano.
It's a foul ball. 1 and 2.
We're going to have to change the rating on this production here before long.
You can see the enforcer's using that towel to wipe the perspiration from his face.
Right.
It apparently increases the circulation.
Can the guys in the truck play that song, Getting to Know You?
Foul ball. Count is still 1 and 2. We're in the 5th. The 1-2. It's fouled back. So Cano battling against Jackson, fouling off these pitches.
You know, we just mentioned the enforcer and an aimless rambling of conscience, and that was going on. Apparently that goes on all the time down there.
Evidently.
Yeah.
Pitches down. So as we were mentioning, they're great seats.
Checkers Bullpen Cafe.
Yeah, right down by the bullpen, and if you want to be where the action is, there's the spot. Bobby Ramos was looking for the spot. And the foul ball out of play.
And he's not going to quit until he finds it.
This will be a 10-pitch at bat here for Jackson against Cano, starting the 5th. And another foul ball. This one looped into center field. Upton coming on, and it'll drop in front of him for a base hit. So Cano, what a battling at bat, Cano and Jackson, and finally Robinson Cano drops a single into center.
First baseman number 12, Andy Phillips.
Runner on, nobody out. And in the middle of everything else, we have this Ask the Rays at FSNFlorida.com. Ask the Rays question: what's your favorite stadium and favorite city to visit on the road? Well,
it can be different, right?
Yeah, it has to be. And I even think the parks could be different, because you've got Fenway, which is the national shrine that it is. So that's a great experience. And then of all the new ones, I love Safeco Field in Seattle.
I agree.
Great ballpark.
I think that's the best of the new ballparks. And Chicago, that's a pretty good city to visit.
Yep, Chicago summertime is outstanding. Our problem is we only go there once a year. Although this year we'll make a quick second visit for that one makeup game against the White Sox. Every city is good for different reasons. 1-0 the count here to Andy Phillips. He fouls it out of play. Kansas City, always a great place for a couple reasons.
Yeah, you have the plaza down there. A lot of great restaurants and shops, and Can't say enough great things about the crew there in Kansas City that we work with.
It's a great place for family reunions.
Hey, it's the Midwest.
Yes, it is. And it flies under the radar screen. Two balls and a strike to count.
Edwin really had to work hard in that Cano at-bat. Not only was it a great at-bat by Cano, but Edwin just kept pumping in the strikes, which was good to see.
Now he's behind Phillips. 3 balls and a strike.
Sometimes you have a real workmanlike at-bat, and it takes a little something away from you for the next hitter or two. Hopefully he can regroup, because these Yankees can come back in a hurry, and it's just 3-0.
Wave and a miss. The count is full to Andy Phillips. Phillips victimized in the second on that great play by Carlos Pena at first base. Cano off first. And the pitch into center field. Upton is there, but he overruns it. Back to the wall it goes. Cano will score. Phillips digs for third. He's in there, and the Yankees are on the board.
Well, just like that, it was looking like it was going to be an out. Hopefully we'll get a chance to show you, because it started tailing. That ball was really knuckling. It started tailing towards right center field and then reversed. It almost ran like an S curve. Here's a beautiful look from behind the backstop. See it tailing over here in this direction and then reversing itself back. His instincts are telling him the ball is tailing into right field, and it was knuckling so much. And watch it just reverse back in the other direction. I don't think there's much you can do about that.
No, I think you're exactly right. And I'm going to tell you, and BJ's not feeling very good about himself right now, but I got to believe that almost every center fielder is going to play that ball the same way.
Yeah.
It's just one of those freak things that happen.
I think the only way a guy would make that catch is if he didn't see it early on and gets a bad jump and he's actually in the wrong place or the right place at the wrong time.
Because I think he started to play it exactly the right way.
Well, it's going this way towards the right and then back.
I mean, that is really strange, because it had that slice on it and all of a sudden it came back.
Something that you wouldn't be able to see from the dugout, but our vantage point, a pretty good idea about how difficult of a play that was.
Will Nieves now. So it's 3-1. A foul ball. Jim Hickey made a quick trip to the mound just to give Edwin a chance to gather himself and catch his breath. It's been a couple tough at bats here. He thought he had Phillips on a fly ball to center, and BJ was running the route. It's difficult to fault Upton for that route, because that ball somehow just changed directions in mid-flight.
You know, I think you could play center field the entire year and not see that. I don't remember if I have seen something like that.
I was just going to say that. I mean, we've been around for a while. I don't know that I've ever seen a ball with that kind of action hit the center field the way that one did. It's really freaky. The only way to describe that, that is a strange fly ball, and it goes as a triple for Phillips, his first. Yankees are on the board.
It really was a 300-foot knuckleball.
Fly ball right center field, and that's going to be in there. Extra bases. Phillips scores. Nieves is in at second with a double, and it's 3-2.
Look at it, it's just tailing back this way. Now watch it reverse its ground. And BJ it's a complete shock to his instincts.
So the Yankees make it a 3-2 game. Nieves at second. Here's Johnny Damon. Pitch is up. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, it's a major challenge for Edwin Jackson right now. Cano had that 11 pitch at bat. Dropped a single into center. That sort of set the tone. Cano really had a battling at bat against Edwin. And then he took Phillips, Jackson did. Took Phillips to a full count, and Phillips hit the fly ball to center. Turned out to be a triple. Nieves picking up the double. And a broken bat line drive. Pena makes the catch for the out at first base. The bat exploded. Damon, for the second time, lines out to first.
And that's twice that Edwin Jackson has got him right on the fists.
So 1 away. Nieves at second, and Derek Jeter will be the hitter. Jeter has walked and struck out. Jackson struck him out. Got him 1-2 and threw him a very good slider back in the third.
There's still shavings from that bat out there on the field. Well, Edwin's going to have to make some good pitches here. These situations are when Derek Jeter is doubly dangerous.
Jeter up here with Abreu on deck. The pitch is down. A ball, no strikes. There's Abreu. 2 hot hitters. Down to play foul. Fastball in. 1-1.
And a good fastball. Jeter fighting that one off.
Fly ball back into right. Young going back to the track, and that one's going to get out of here. Jeter hits one out to right center field. Things have come apart here for Edwin Jackson in the 5th. Jeter hits a 2-run home run. That's his 7th home run of the year. Well, the Yankees have hit for the cycle here in the 5th, and they have 4 runs.
As always, Jeter with great power going to the opposite field. He hit that like a left-handed hitter would hit it into right center field.
So the Yankees have put 4 up in the 5th inning. Pitch is high to Bobby Abreu. Fastball up.
Well, that one was at 97. I think Edwin really has to fight the urge to not overthrow here and get back to pitching. Subtract with a couple of off-speed pitches.
This one is fouled back. A fastball. 1-1 now. Two balls and a strike. Three and one right now. One out. 3-1 pitch. Abreu lofts it back into center field. Upton, not quite to the track, makes the catch. That'll be the second out.
Well, I think you have to just take a deep breath here in this situation. Know that your hitters have had a good approach against the Yankee starter, Mussina, and really battle to get refocused and just keep the deficit at 1 run.
Yeah, that's why the point you made about Edwin making sure he continues to pitch is important, because as wild as the top of the fifth has been, and there have been some strange things here, you're still only down by a run. That's a strike to Alex Rodriguez.
And as he has started to overthrow in this inning, the Yankee hitters have had good swings on his fastball. There's a good slider.
0-2. They got Rodriguez looking on a fastball in the first. Out short the first and the fourth. 0-2 here in the fifth. Into the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a wave and a miss on that slider. A-Rod chased it. That retires the side. New York scores 4. We go to the bottom half of the fifth with the score: New York 4 and the Rays 3. 4-3. The Rays are down by a run. They come in to hit in the bottom of the fifth inning. But our Gatorade heard around the cooler segment. Active playoff streaks. The Yankees with the longest streak in baseball. The Detroit Red Wings 16 in the NHL. And the playoff streaks. The Yankees 12 in the NBA. The San Antonio Spurs with 10. The Colts in the NFL with 5. Derek Jeter's home run has given New York a 1-run lead. Carlos Pena opens the bottom of the fifth here against Mike Mussina. Wave and a miss. Strike 1. Well, New York came in to this series 10 games back. They're still 10 games back, taking 2 of the first 3 games. And that's one thing. At some point, the Yankees are going to also have to start looking at the schedule, the games remaining. Right now, down double figures in the East.
And that playoff streak is in jeopardy.
They're 8 back in the wild card with 3 teams in front of them. That always gets a little dicey when you have that many teams involved.
Right.
Trying to make up ground.
Trying to leapfrog all of them. Every game vital for the Yankees, and inherent that they win series after series after series.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
I hope the Rays can keep the at-bats going. I think that That little breather, that long top of the fifth, was pretty much something that Mike Mussina was in need of.
Yeah, Jackson made 36 pitches in the top half of this inning. Pena fouls it out of play.
The last time Mussina was out there, he was feeling frustrated. The Rays were stringing at bats together, and all of a sudden now he finds himself in the lead.
Carlos drove in a run back in the first to get the scoring started. His 56th run batted in this year. And a one-hopper grabbed by Cano. Pena's thrown out, second to first, one away in the fifth.
Your right fielder, number 26.
Delmon Young will be the hitter. Delmon has walked and has lifted a fly ball into right. He has a mini 7-game hitting streak going. Ground ball. There's a base hit up the middle. That extends the streak to 8. The Rays pick up their 10th hit. So Delmon Young's aboard with one away. Here is B.J. Upton. B.J. 2 for 2 at the plate. Singled in a run in the first. Singled and eventually thrown out at the plate in the third. Pops it up. Foul ball, and that ball is going to be out of play. Straight back. One strike the count. Delmon back in at first base. So for the second time this year, Mike Mussina has given up as many as 10 hits in an outing. Red Sox beat him 7-3 the last time he gave up that many hits. He was charged with all 7 runs, 6 2/3 in that start. Rays have just 3 off him on 10 hits so far this afternoon.
And I think Delmon is going here in this sequence.
Little ground ball, second base. Cano, Jeter 1, first base 2. 4-6-3 on the double play. The Rays are out in the fifth. No runs, a hit, nobody left. Through 5, 4-3 New York. Hideki Matsui opening the 6th inning. Edwin Jackson back out there to open the frame. 1 ball, no strikes. Two 2-0. Sean Camp is busy in the bullpen. Two and 1.
Well, hopefully Jackson can find a way to get Matsui to put the ball into play. A little weaker than he has in this series. It seems like everything he has hit has been right on the barrel.
There's the 2-1. Ground ball shortstop. Harris bobbles it, recovers and throws. It's wide. That'll be an The 11th error of the year charged to Harris.
And that was hit hard too.
The hurried throw a little wide, pulling Pena away from the bag. Melky Cabrera will bat. Well, Jackson's had to try to deal with some adversity here in the last couple innings in the 5th, and now a leadoff error in the 6th. Cabrera singled in the 2nd inning. He is 1 for 2. Gonna bunt. Want to know the count. Apparently he got that bat back, but he takes another look at Larry Boa.
Well, it just gets the infielders Aki and Pena on the corners thinking a little bit. And Aki is well in. If he doesn't see those hands separate on the bat, he'll try to take a few steps back as quickly as possible.
And another move to first.
I think Joe Madden would probably talk to Jackson after today's game. Almost all the pickoffs come from the bench, and when he calls for a pickoff to make a more of a competitive throw over to first base, put something on the throw.
Fouls that one, taking a full cut. Count is 1-1. Jackson looks to second, throw to first, out there. Matsui arrives safely. Sacrificed up to second base by Cabrera. Jackson to Pena. That's the first out. Rays will have tomorrow off and then open a series Tuesday against the Angels. Homestand continues Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Joe Madden out there with Robinson Cano due up, and it was Cano's extended at bat that started the 5th. He had an 11 pitch at bat and finally singled into center.
Well, Edwin's right at 100 pitches.
Madden decides to stay with him, let him pitch to Robinson Cano.
Well, in an effort to try to develop him, see if he can get out of this situation, still have an opportunity to win the game.
They will walk Cano. Andy Phillips is on deck. So the error to lead off the inning has put the Rays in this spot. Matsui bunted up to second with first base open. They'll just walk Cano and pitch to the right-handed batter, Andy Phillips.
First baseman, number 12, Andy Phillips.
Runners first and second. Here's Phillips. Picked up his first triple on that ball that he hit to center field in the 5th. fouls it back. That's a strike. Foul down in front of Larry Boa. 2-strike count. Sean Camp has been joined by Stokes again. Second time that Brian has been loosening in the bullpen.
But we said it before that Edwin's more of a fly ball pitcher with the fastball. I think if he looks to get a ground ball or a strikeout here, slider is going to be the pitch.
Two strikes to the count.
Oh.
There is strike 3 called, a fastball. Phillips caught looking. That fastball in the mid-90s.
Edwin has had his control bounce around, but that one could not have been any more perfect than it was.
Nieves. Goes after the high fastball. Nieves doubled in a run and scored in the 5th. Now hitting 135. Two. 2 men on, 2 men out.
Well, he's done a nice job these last 2 hitters getting quickly ahead.
Strikes out Nieves. So he gets Phillips and Nieves to retire the side. No runs, no hits, an error. 2 left. Bottom of the 6th coming. 4-3 New York. Greg Norton 0 for 2 against him. Leads off the home half of the 6th. There's the first pitch strike. Seen the off-speed breaking ball.
He can vary the speed. He can vary the brakes on that knuckle curve. He'll even drop his arm angle more so to right-handed hitters.
Two balls and a strike.
He's still glaring in at C.B. Buckner. He's not been happy with the strike zone this afternoon.
Ground ball, first base, and Phillips comes up with this one. Makes a nice play to get Norton. So that's the first out. Ty Wigginton. Pitch is down. Wiggy 2 for 2. Strike on the edge. It's 1-1. And a liner into center field. That's going to be out. Another hit for Wiggy. Cabrera makes the pickup. Wigginton digging for 2, and he is out at second base. Cano put the tag on him as Wigginton. We're trying to stretch it into a double, and Cabrera comes up with his 8th assist of the year.
course, that play was all in front of Ty Wigginton. He had just a slight hesitation coming around first. Cabrera made a throw right on the bag. Couldn't have been any more perfect.
Navarro. Pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a strike. 1-1. Colon, the left-hander, joining Vizcaíno, the righty, down the left field line in the New York bullpen. Two and one.
There's the old 55-footer.
Upstairs. It's 3-1. Rays with 11 hits, but so far just 3 runs. And a one-hopper handled by Cano. 2 Phillips, and the Rays are out. No runs a hit, nobody left. We're through 6. 4-3 New York. On to the 7th inning. 4-3 New York leading the Rays. New York will have the top of its order coming up, and the Rays bring on a new pitcher, Brian Stokes, making his 44th appearance. He is 2-6 with a .626 earned run mark. Edwin Jackson pitching 6, allowing 4 runs, 6 hits. He struck out 6, walked 2, gave up a home run. We had him at 111 pitches.
Did a good job coming back from that 5th inning where it kind of got away from him, and Stokes looked good in last night's game.
Johnny Damon takes the first pitch down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Stokes worked an inning and 2/3 last night. He also pitched an inning in the game Thursday. So he's making his 3rd appearance of this series. Falling behind Damon, 2-0. High fly ball. Upton out there in center field, has it. 1 gone. Let's go to Todd Callis. Todd?
Dwayne, we talked about the bullet Bob Feller before the game. He was signing autographs. Just got through another hour-plus autograph session for the fans. Bob Feller in a star-studded suite as well. A couple of the best right-handers in the history of the game are watching the game today from the same suite. Bob Feller and Robin Roberts. Bob Feller was recounting that story you guys talked about, how he was driving across the Raccoon River out of his hometown of Van Meter, Iowa, ready to sign with the Cleveland Indians management when he heard on the radio about the Pearl Harbor bombings. Turned around, went home, called his local recruiter, and within 2 days he was enlisted in Great Lakes, Illinois, as he ended up serving 4 years on the USS Alabama. And then unbelievable 4 years of his, what could have been an unbelievable 4 years of his major league career. Robin Roberts, by the way, guys, says he watches all of your games. I said, you watch almost every game? He's like, no, not almost every game. I watch Dwayne and Joe every telecast. So he said to pass along his pass. Back to you.
He is just one of the greatest human beings gone. Jeter fouls this one out of play. And we say that not because he watches all our games, but God bless him. What a great pitcher and great competitor he was, and a great man. And that's quite a booth there with both Bob Feller and Robin Roberts. And there's Robin right down there in the lower right-hand part of the screen.
Yep, right there. And he is just as sharp as could be, and just a great wisdom of knowledge to talk about pitching. He is always talking about pitching. He's always talking about baseball, and I golfed with him earlier this year before the start of the year, and lives in Temple Terrace and loves watching the games. What a great guy.
Jeter fouls it out of play. The count 1 ball 2 strikes. I'll tell you something. Let's take just a moment here and indulge us, but one of the greatest thrills of this game is to have a guy like Robin Roberts say he enjoys watching the games.
Sure enough.
1-2 the count. Ground ball by the mound to second. Wigginton makes the play. So Jeter is out of there. 2 gone. Base is empty. It was nice to see Stokes. He's put together a nice little run of some outings here, and we've talked all year long, Joe, about how much you and I like him and his arm and his makeup. I think he's got a chance to be a good pitcher.
Yeah, I think he might be in the process of turning that corner. He was pitching out of the setup role earlier this year and had some tough games. Really did a good job responding from that adversity, and like a young pitcher should, learn from those situations.
He faces the red-hot Bobby Abreu. 1-1 to count. Here it is. Into the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. 36,048. 36048, matching last night. Another sellout. The Rays have back-to-back sellouts. This series, the 4th largest series in franchise history. 123,806 for the series. Tough play, and Akinori makes it. Nice play right there to retire the side. Abreu out. The Yankees finished 1-2-3. 7th inning stretch time. 4-3 New York. Fans on their feet for the 7th inning stretch at Tropicana Field. 36,048 here for the wrap-up game of this series. 123,806 for the entire series. Rays, like last night, jumped to a 3-0 lead. Rays scored twice in the first and 1 in the second. New York up with 4 runs in the 5th inning. Edwin Jackson working the front 6. He gave up 4 runs, 6 hits. Mike Messina had worked the first 6 for New York, allowing the Rays 3 runs and 11 hits, and now Ron Balone takes over.
Well, at times this has been a challenging part of the game, like the Rays, for the Yankees and their bullpen. Balone pitched very well last night and has been a welcomed addition to their pen.
So it's Balone to face the top of the order. Akinori Iwamura, Carl Crawford, and Brendan Harris. Yankees lined out, fouled out, and grounded out. Messina didn't strike out anybody today. He walked 2, gave up 3 runs, 11 hits. Left after 88 pitches. Here's Aki. Takes it too high. 1 ball, no strikes. It's a 4-3 ball game, and that's the way the Rays stand against the Yankees in the season series. They've won 4 and lost 3. 2-0 the count to Akinori. Managed 1 run off the Yankee bullpen last night. That's a strike. That came on the home run by Carlos Pena off Kyle Farnsworth. Valone pitched a scoreless inning with 2 strikeouts. Farnsworth an inning, and then Rivera picked up the save. Full count.
Well, this is where you would like to see them make their move, because Rivera has been so tough to hit in the 9th inning. So looking at kind of a 2-inning window to make that little run.
3-2 to base hit up the middle. Akinori is aboard. Leadoff single, and Akinak for the Rays here to open the 7th inning. Our checkers double of the game. Carl Crawford has 2 hits and 2 steals. He stole second in the first, picked up another steal of second base in the 2nd inning. He has 26 on the year. So he's 2 for 3. Second in the league in stolen bases. Carl fouls it. Immediate action in the bullpen for the Yankees again with that leadoff single by Uemura. Vizcaíno had been up before. Carl fouls it back. That's going to be into the upper deck and out again. Look out down below. 0-2.
And Carl just really lets the ball travel, waiting until the last possible moment to engage that swing.
Rays have out-hit the Yankees 12-6, but they're down by a run. And a ground ball third. A-Rod down to second, over to first, and that's in time for the double play. Rodriguez now to Phillips. 5-4-3.
Well, that was a nice play all the way around. A-Rod got kind of a skidding high hop, made a nice adjustment. It came right up to him. Quick exchange, and it would absolutely have to be to get speedy Carl Crawford.
Here's Brendan Harris. Upstairs. Brendan gave it a ride his last time up. He sent the center fielder Cabrera all the way to the warning track in straightaway center. Officially nothing out of 2 after that first inning walk. 1-1 to count.
Looks unfortunate for the Rays. 2 hard hit balls, and ends up going for a double play.
Too wide, 2-1. And a strike. Harris draws the walk. So he's aboard with 2 outs, and Carlos Pena will be coming up.
Well, the numbers don't exactly look that way, but Carlos has had lately some good swings off left-handed pitchers.
He drove in a run and scored a run in the first. There's an opportunity for Carlos against the left-hander, Ron Vallone. Carlos came into the series 1 out of 4 lifetime against Vallone. That's low. 200 with a couple of home runs off lefties. 316 against right-handers.
Hopefully he can trick himself into using that same approach against right-handed pitchers, where it just really keeps everything squared off inside the ball.
And there's a drive, high and deep to right. That baby's gone. Home run for Carlos Pena. On a 1-0 pitch, Pena delivers, belting a 2-run home run, and the Rays lead 5-4. Carlos Pena, his 22nd home run of the year. He had a homer and 3 RBIs last night. He has a home run and 3 RBIs today.
Slider with a little bit of hang, and talked about how he keeps himself conscious, going right through the middle of the baseball. What a beautiful sight.
Rays take the lead on this Carlos Pena blast. Rays lead 5-4, and the Yankees are going to make a pitching change. How about that for Carlos Pena? Carlos Pena has just given the Rays a 5-4 lead. My Circle exclusively from Alltel with unlimited free calls to and from Circle numbers. You choose who you want in your Circle, any number on any network. Visit alltelcircle.com for details. Delman Young against Luis Vizcaíno, and that ball was caught. Was it dropped, or did he hang on to it? Boy, Matsui, I'd like to visit that one again. He juggled it out there and held on for the out. Pena's home run here in the bottom of the 7th gives the Rays a 5-4 lead at the end of 7.
Here's the winner of the St. Petersburg Times and the No Contest. The question was, on page 6 of today's Times Sports, which Rays player entered today's game with an 11-game hit streak? And the answer is Carlos Pena. The correct selected entry is by Peter Howard. You win an autographed Times money back here. Claim your prize at the Times bid in 6th Street. Hey, congrats to Carlos. As I said in that streak, nothing well, James. Strike right now. Correct. He wins a brand new glove courtesy of Dakota. You're not playing with Dakota. You're not playing with us.
Alex Rodriguez leads off the 8th inning, fouling away the first pitch, a fastball from Brian Stokes. 1 strike to count. Rodriguez, Matsui, and Cabrera in the 8th inning. The Rays finally got back on the board with that home run in the bottom of the 7th by Carlos Pena. There's a liner into right center field. That's in for a base hit. Gets by Upton and goes to the wall. Rodriguez is on his way to second with a double. Rodriguez collecting his first hit of the day, his 22nd double.
Well, this lineup just keeps coming right at you, and this is really where A-Rod loves to hit. Pitch is out over the plate where he can get a little bit more extension.
Well, Hideki Matsui is due up. And Casey Fossum's going to get the call here. That's going to be it for Stokes. Back with Matsui due. Matsui been on twice with a single, reached on an error, officially 1 for 3. And Fossum on the face of the left-handed hitter. And as we mentioned the other night, his numbers are not that impressive against left-handed hitting. 350 right now.
And because of that, you wonder how much longer Joe Madden is going to keep using him as a left-handed specialist.
There's the base hit into right. Rodriguez will advance to third and stop there. Fossum gives up the single to the left-handed hitting Matsui.
Because it's just not working.
Now Cabrera, Melky Cabrera, who's a switch hitter, will bat right-handed. Cabrera single in the second. Did 1 for 2 with a sacrifice. So the Yankees threaten after the Rays have taken the lead. Is foul the other way, out of play, strike 1.
You know, you wonder how things have gone. Speaking of bullpens, as you look at the Yankees pen, about at this point playing the hot hand as opposed to trying to match up lefty-lefty, especially when your left-hander is having left-handed hitters hitting 350. And righties are hitting 339.
So it's a 2-strike count here to Cabrera. Cabrera with a new bat. Casey pitched an inning and a third Friday. Gave up a couple runs, inherited a runner, and he scored. So it continues to be a tough stretch for Casey Fossum. Pitch 1 and 2.
He's going to throw that breaking ball here. Hopefully he gets good depth on it, not a cross sweep. The fingers over the top of it.
And a wave and a miss. Cabrera strikes out.
He got away with one there.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Didn't get over that one, kind of got underneath it, sank underneath it, and it was up and hanging. I think Cabrera was looking for a little bit more break than what he got.
Now Robinson Cano. a strike. Cano started their 4-run fifth with a base hit. He had the extended at bat against Edwin Jackson. Jackson worked 6. Stokes 1 inning, plus 1 hitter in the 8th. Cano ground ball, that's foul. 0-2. Yankees with men at first and third and 1 out.
Boy, this would be a major situation to dodge out of.
Strikes, here it is. High fly ball, the opposite side. Crawford will go back to the track for it. Tag at third. Rodriguez is going to score. Matsui moves up to second. And the Yankees have tied this game as Cano lifts a sacrifice fly to left.
Well, you saw Alex Rodriguez really busting it down the line to touch the plate as quickly as possible. And he immediately looked over his shoulder to see where Matsui was. If he gets tagged out, that run, before A-Rod touches the plate, that run comes off the board. Just thinking about the possibility and glancing over to see what Matsui was doing.
So now Matsui at second. Andy Phillips will be the hitter, and Madden's going to go to the bullpen again. So Fossum departs, and we'll be back with the new Rays pitcher in a moment. Hideki Matsui has advanced to second. Joe Madden goes to the bullpen for Gary Glover, the 4th Rays pitcher. Glover 3-3. He came out of the bullpen here the other night and saved the game for Kazmir, working an inning and 2/3. His second save of the year.
He's been pitching out of the closer's role in the absence of Al Reyes. He should be back in a few days.
Andy Phillips, the first baseman, bats. Matsui's on his way to the plate. Throw comes through. He is safe. Go to second. Phillips is safe there. Wigginton thought he had him. A safe call by Ed Rapuano at second base. And the Yankees take the lead. The run is charged to Fossum. Phillips drives in his second run of the day. And it's 6-5 New York.
Well, whether it's the top or the bottom of the lineup, they just continue to come after you until that 27th out's recorded.
So the Yankees make it a 6-5 ball game. Jorge Posada is going to pinch in for Will Nieves. Nieves had a double while he was in there, and now Posada, who had the day off from catching duties to this point, will enter the game as a pinch hitter here in the 8th. Rays are going to walk him. So he'll get the intentional walk. Johnny Damon due next.
Well, this is the move you make. You also drop down about 100 points in batting average as well. So with Damon hitting 247.
third walk by Rays pitching, the second intentional walk. Johnny Damon steps in with men at first and second and 2 outs, 2 runs home. One ball, no strikes. Twice is lined out to first, grounded to second, and a fly ball to center in the 7th. Fouls it back. 1-1.
Well, Johnny hasn't quite been getting to this pitch in this series. Not quite all the way up and in, but it's had him tied up and broken a few of his bats in the 4 games here in St. Pete.
Too high. 2-1. And a strike. And a pop-up foul. That will carry out a play over the screen.
Well, that's that same pitch I was referring to. If he can execute with that again, I think that's the right pitch. Glover's fastball with plenty on it, although that has more of the plate. I don't think you have to dot the I and cross the T on the inside corner up and in. Something with some elevation up on the inner third.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Runners go. The pitch is down and in. He did not go on the appeal. So that will load the bases for Jeter. Single, intentional walk, now the walk. Bases are loaded. And here's Jeter. Jeter walked his first time, then hit the home run in the 5th that capped that 4-run inning. New York has taken a 1-run lead. Jeter's trying to break it open.
He just has the ability to slow the game down at this point.
And a bullpen ball loose from the New York bullpen. Larry Ball with the pickup. Pitch, fastball misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Pop up, foul ball. Navarro's after it. Will it be playable? The answer is no. The count is 1-1.
you'd like to see Navi catch that. Jeter expanded the strike zone. He still feels he can hit that pitch, though. They pitch it a little bit above the letters.
1-1. He fouls another one back. At the general vicinity of the last pitch.
Looks really good to him. That's almost up there around the shoulders.
A ball, 2 strikes. Bases loaded, 2 outs. They've scored twice.
2 fastballs away. Will he spin the breaker?
And a ground ball to third. Diving stop by Iwamura. Throw to first. One hops in. Safe there. 1 run score. Phillips crosses the plate. Jeter picks up his 3rd RBI. That makes it a 2-run game now, 7-5.
Boy, Aki made a nice play. I don't think he quite had the handle on it. Of course, he is so quick to his feet. See, it was kind of rattling around in his glove as he was trying to make that exchange. It was still kind of rolling around in the palm of his hand. So he had to go back and re-grip it.
Now Bobby Abreu becomes the 9th hitter to step into the batter's box in the 8th inning for New York. Pitch is high. So a run charged to Fossa. Glover now has been charged with a run. 2 hits, 2 walks. Strike at the knees. 1-1. The count. Up and in. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yankees have scored 3 times. They've taken a 2-run lead. Lovers 2-1. And a foul ball. 2-2. He fouled the fastball.
Abreu very comfortable up there lately, has had so many well-timed swings.
Including that last one.
Absolutely.
Two strikes. And he got him. Just breaking down and in. Abreu strikes out. That retires the side, but the Yankees score 3 and take a 7-5 lead.
Sure has been fun to watch Carlos Pena play on a daily basis.
Jorge Posada will take over behind the plate after pinch hitting. And a new pitcher. Kyle Farnsworth in there. B.J. Upton leading off, and he sends a fly ball deep to right center field. That's got some carry and might get out of here, although a fan going to be a double. Ed Rapuano calling it a double. So BJ on the first pitch here in the 8th has doubled into right center field.
Well, that's BJ's 3rd hit to the opposite field. This one almost leaves the ballpark. He's got that stroke going into right field. And it was a double as it wedged in that padding below the yellow line. Well, the way this game is shaping up, Dwayne, glad the Rays have the last at bat.
Farnsworth 40th appearance. He's 1-1. Greg Norton takes a pitch outside. Rays have 14 hits. The count.
Yeah, these two teams really play each other tough. There's the Rays, as you mentioned, leading the series 4-3 this year.
Norton pops it up. Cano at second. 1 out. Well, Ty Wigginton has 3 hits. He's 3 for 3. He was out last time trying to stretch a single into a double. At a strike. Fastball mid-90s on that first pitch to Wigginton. Myers the left-hander, Proctor the right-hander.
Proctor with his daily appearance.
Hot shot. That's a fair ball. Down beyond the bullpen. Here comes Upton in to score. Wigginton digs for 2, and he's in there this time. An RBI double, his 4th hit of the day. And suddenly it's a 1-run ball game.
Punch, counter punch, punch, counter punch. Ty just hammered this high heater. That is getting set. And turn it.
So Ty Wigginton gets a good hand as he leaves for a pinch runner. 4 for 4 today for Ty. Josh Wilson will run for him. Wilson at second. Here's Navarro. And Navarro looks at a fastball. Strike 1. Navarro bunted his way on in the 2nd. Lined a single into center in the 4th. Grounded out to second as last time. And a line drive caught by Phillips, and they're going to get the double play. Phillips, an extraordinary play on that hard hit line drive, a diving catch. And they double up Wilson. 3-6 to retire the side. The Yankees got a break on an outstanding play by Phillips through 8, 7-6 New York. His presence always looming down there in the bullpen late. Alex Rodriguez goes after Glover's first pitch in the 9th. It's a high pop, short left center. Crawford is there to catch it.
Well, that's why that was such a huge play by Phillips, the first baseman, because that ball goes through off the bat of Navarro. That may keep Rivera right where he is. But he'll be in there for the ninth.
Now Hideki Matsui. It's Wilson at second after pinch running for Wigginton. Want to know the count.
You know, Abreu has had a lot of the attention in this series for being so hot, but Matsui has really been swinging the bat well.
That's a strike. It's 1-1. And a strike.
Even Matsui's outs have been hit hard.
High and foul. Out of play. 2-2. Rays with 15 hits. They trail by a run. They have 6 runs, 15 hits. The Yankees have 7 runs, 10 hits. Matsui lifts one deep down the left field line with some slice. And that ball is foul. So the count remains 2-2 on the Yankees left fielder. Rays will have the top of the order coming up in the bottom of the ninth. Iwamura, Crawford, and then Harris. And Matsui, did he go? Yes, he did. Finally, on the appeal to Hickox at third. Matsui is out on strikes.
Boy, that was a good tight slider there from Glover. That's the same pitch that he got Abreu with in the 8th. Comes in at fastball tilt and just disappears. That'll show you something, the quality of that pitch, as well as Matsui's been swinging it in this series.
Now Cabrera. Tie, 1 ball, no strikes. And interestingly enough, in this Yankee lineup, as hot as Abreu has been today, he's the only spot in their order not to reach base. Cabrera, lofts a fly ball for Crawford in left. Carl's got it. 1, 2, 3 go the Yankees. We go into the bottom of the ninth now with the score 7-6 New York. Top of the order for the Rays in the bottom of the ninth inning. They trail 7-6. They had something going in the bottom of the 8th when they'd scored a run, and Navarro hit this line drive to first, and that diving catch by Phillips resulting in a double play. A very big turn of events in this game. Wilson caught off second on the extraordinary catch by Andy Phillips. And with that out, Mariano Rivera will enter this game in the bottom half of the ninth. 35th appearance, 2 and 3 with 12 saves.
Of course, the one pitch, that mid-90s cut fastball that he throws on both sides of the plate. And an uphill battle for the Rays in that first two hitters to face Rivera will be left-handed, although Carl has had some good success against him.
Hockey struck out to end the game last night against Rivera. Hockey leads off the bottom of the ninth in this game.
You just have to hope that he throws something away from you to muscle into left field.
Hockey puts down the bunt, challenging A-Rod. That ball rolls past him and will be a foul ball. A-Rod had to hustle after that one as it got by him. Good idea by Hockey.
You bet, a sigh of relief there from A-Rod. Almost perfect execution by Hockey, and infielders have that timing mechanism in their head about whether they're going to be able to get the runner or not, and that was Alex knowing that he was not going to be able to get the fast running Hockey, and made a wise decision.
A strike to count. Wave and a miss. 0-2.
That's the pitch he hopes to see again, to where he is not so much crowded with that hard cutter.
Upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
This has been some game.
Rays trail by a run. And a looper into center field. Here comes Cabrera in. He will not catch it. Iwamura is on with a base hit. A loop single, Hockey's second hit of the game. And the Rays put the leadoff hitter aboard in the bottom of the ninth.
Tell you, when Rivera does give up his hits to left-handed hitters, these are the kind of hits they are. Those crowded swings off the trademark, down off the barrel, just over the infield.
Here's Carl Crawford. First, Hockey's back in there.
Posada started the day on the bench. His idea of a day off is about 7 innings off, but he has been throwing well in this series.
Crawford coming into the series 4 of 11 lifetime against Rivera. And he fouls it off his foot. Strike 1.
Like most closers, Rivera not particularly quick to the plate. I don't see a lot of closers who have those big-time fastballs, or in his case, cut fastball, with a lot of slide steps. They need to lift that leg and gather some energy to generate that velocity.
This one. A 2-strike count. Iwamura dropped the base hit into center. Carl takes it in. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Boy, he finds himself in a tough spot with 2 strikes, not wanting to take a called third. The cutter looks good to hit until you commit. your left-handed hitter running down the handle.
There goes Eva Moore, and the pitch is fouled. And Carl thinks it's catcher's interference. It is. Crawford pointing out that it was catcher's interference, and I think it was Joe West who actually made the call. Buckner.
Well, Carl really sold it. He was saying, hey, I hit his glove. And Posada knows that with that delivery of Rivera that he's got to hurry. So he's kind of coming out of the chute a little bit. Watch here. He's coming forward out of the chute, trying to cheat a little bit. And boy, did it work out well for the Rays.
So that'll be an error charge to Posada on catcher's interference. Carl immediately turned to Buckner. So 2 men on. Iwamura was on the move. Well, here is Brendan Harris. Yankee infield looking for a bunt. Harris showing bunt, takes the pitch for a ball.
I think the only there's some choices here for Joe Madden with Carlos Pena. Obviously, he's been swinging it well. He's in the on-deck circle, but he is left-handed. That swing is a little bit longer against that hard cutter from Rivera. And I think you could also entertain the idea of Brendan swinging it, being it right-handed, and just needing to tie the game.
A ball, no strikes. Harris swings through that one, and the count is 1-1.
That was Joe Madden saying that, or maybe that sign was missed because Tom Foley's coming down to talk to Brendan Harris.
The count. Runners first and second. Harris again showing bunt, but he took that pitch in, and it's a strike. West on the appeal says he offered. Now it's 1-2.
A clear attempt to try to bunt there. Time to battle.
2 men on, nobody out. A ball, 2 strikes. Iwamura can run. He's at second. Crawford, great speed at first. Two men on. This game has been back and forth. Rays entering the 9th against Rivera, trailing 7-6. Ground ball chopped at third. Rodriguez out there over to first. A 5-3 double play. Crawford moves up to second as Harris chopped it down to third. A-Rod got the force at third and the out at first.
Well, in case you're wondering why he didn't step on the bag and throw to second, keep that runner out of scoring position. That runner was Carl Crawford.
So the Rays will have Carlos Pena coming to the plate, and the Yankees have a full-scale conference on the mound. Joe Torre out of the dugout.
I think just a quick little chat about the possibility of who Rivera would rather face.
Well, Pena hit the home run in the 7th inning off the left-hander Valone. His 22nd home run, and at the time it gave the Rays a 5-4 lead.
And if I was Rivera, I'd be more inclined to want to face Pena. Delman Young can hit any pitch in any location.
So Carlos 2 for 4 on the day. And he fouls that fastball back, strike one. Rays have out hit the Yankees 16-10, but they trail. It's a 7-6 ball game.
You get the feeling that Pena is going to have to hit with alligator arms for this whole at bat, with the ball being crowded in on it.
Takes it in off the plate. 1-1. Foul the other way. Now to play. A ball, 2 strikes.
Pretty much the same as the first offering, crowded with the cutter. Got to be really quick to get to that pitch. Carlos's bat's been quick all year.
Pena getting time from Buckner.
Just trying to break up the rhythm a little bit in hopes that Rivera leaves it a little bit out over the plate, or he can get some extension on it.
1-2 the count. Here it is. Pena takes it too close. 2-2. Crawford on second base. Rays down by a run. Now the 2-2. And a popper left side. A-Rod back, and this game is over. Rodriguez takes care of the popper off the bat of Pena. The Rays do not score in the ninth. The hit, an error, double play, and a man left. It's a 7-6 final, and the Yankees have taken the final game of this series before 36,048. They scored 4 in the 5th and 3 in the 8th. Rays out hit them 16-10. The Bill Curry Ford play of the game. In the 8th, Andy Phillips base hit to left gave the Yankees the lead. They managed to tack on another run. That was the second run of the inning. They scored a 3rd run in the 8th. Hold on as the Rays scored a run in the 8th and then threatened in the 9th. But the Yankees win it 7-6.